up, besties? How are you all? Hi, princess. Hold on, little quick interloping from our dog. Come here. Say hi, princess. If you guys don't know, I have a dog named Princess, who I guess is gonna be in today's video. So say hi, princess. Hi. But yeah, so I thought I would come in and let me scoot you guys closer because I feel like you guys are so far away. Hi, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Esme. You guys are the besties, and today I'm gonna show you guys what was all the books that I read in the month of October/November. So, quick little thing, I read more books in October than November. I'm not gonna lie. In November, I only read 2 books. I don't know why, but I got in such a book slump in November, and I still can't figure out why. But I have a great selection for December, so stay tuned for that video. If you guys see me wearing the same shirt on that day, just know that I'm filming it right after this. So, but yeah, I thought I would show you guys all of the books that I read for the month of October/November. I don't know if you guys can tell. Ding. But yeah, starting off, I did not know this, but apparently you're supposed to read the Caraval series. This one? The Caraval series by Stephanie Garber first before you start reading this. I didn't know that, so I read this series first before I read this series, but I read Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber, and honestly, for this book, I would give it maybe like a 4 out of 5 stars because like I loved it. I loved Evangeline and Jack, and I also loved Apollo. That's all I'm gonna say because I don't want to spoil this book for you guys. But just know that Once Upon a Broken Heart series is like a romantasy, more romance with a touch of fantasy. Because like throughout these whole books, did I just see a bookmark in here? Sorry, I thought I saw a bookmark. Because for some reason I've been losing my bookmarks and I don't know where they are. But yeah, honestly, this whole book, out of both these books, my favorite was the second one, but we're talking about the first one right now. So my first one is the only one that doesn't match their little sisters. Like the other 2 I have in hardback. This is the only one I have in paperback because the hardback was sold out. But either ways, Once Upon a Broken Heart, if you guys don't know, I keep saying Curse of True Love because that's what the 3rd book is called. But either ways, Once Upon a Broken Heart is: how far would you go for happily ever after? Evangeline Fox has always believed in true love and happy endings, until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic, immortal Prince of Hearts. But she soon discovers that the bargaining with the Prince of Hearts is a dangerous game. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or in the most exquisite tragedy. So I don't know yet because I'm still on the 3rd book and I have been on that book since October. I've been on a rut. I don't know why. I do this with movies as well, where it's like if I know it's the last book in the series, I don't want to read it because I don't want to leave that world. So I haven't read or I haven't finished A Curse of True Love. I think I'm on like chapter 15. But the first one I would really recommend. Not gonna lie, this whole series is like a 5-star series. I would greatly recommend this book series if you really want to get into like fantasy, but you know, you don't want to get straight into fantasy. Like you still want a little bit of like I need like a little bit of a breather still for fantasy. Romantasy is what I like to say. But speaking of Once Upon a Broken Heart, the sequel, I'm also not gonna spoil it that much, but The Ballad of Never After, I love this book. This book, I think it's like one of my top 5 favorites of this year. And granted, I have a lot of others, but this is my only one of 2 fantasies of this year. But I love this book. Like this book is the reason why I still believe in true love, because I am a romantic at heart. I like to say that. I'm like, oh my god, I'm a romantic at heart. That's why I'm still, you know, a single being. But yeah, I'm not gonna spoil this, but The Ballad of Never After, 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. I will still recommend Divine Rivals. If anyone ever asks me about fantasy books, I will recommend to you Divine Rivals. But I recommend the series as well. So starting off, in also October, if you guys didn't know, I read King of Pride, which is the 2nd book to the King of Sin series by Anna Huang. I like to say this is like a sequel series to the Twisted Heart, or like the Twisted series. If you guys don't know, I read the Twisted series. But yeah, I started reading the King of Sin series, and so in the month of October, there was gonna be a new book called King of Greed, and then I realized I never finished reading King of Pride. And so I read King of Pride. I also read it tandem at the same time while on Kindle, because I have the Kindle app on my phone. So whenever I got like, because for some reason whenever I have to read in my bed, I always have to put the book up like this, or I have to go like this and then go like this. And sometimes, you know, your neck starts hurting when you like look up like this and you're like reading like this, and then next thing you know, the book fell on your face. But yeah, I was reading this on Kindle as well. And so I love Sloan and Kai. Like, I feel like out of all of the billionaires, as of right now, my favorite billionaire is Kai. Cause I don't count Rise as a billionaire because he's not gonna spoil anything. But Rise is not a billionaire. So my favorite billionaire so far is Kai Young. So a little synopsis about King of Pride. She is his opposite in every way and the greatest temptation he'll ever know. Reserved, controlled, and proper to the fault, Kai Young has neither the time nor inclination for chaos. And Isabel, with her purple hair and inappropriate jokes, is chaos personified. With a crucial CEO vote looming and a media empire at stake, the billionaire heir cannot afford the distraction she brings. Isabel is everything he shouldn't want, but with every look and every touch, he's tempted to break his own rules and claim her as his own. Bold, impressive, and full of life, Isabel Valencia has never met a party she doesn't like or a man she couldn't charm, except for Kai Young. It shouldn't matter, he's not her type. The man translates classics into Latin for fun, and his membership at the all-exclusive club called Valhalla, where she bartends, means he's strictly off limits. But she cannot deny that he has a cool exterior beneath him, and he's a man who can make her melt with just one touch. No matter how hard they try, they just can't resist giving in to their forbidden desires, even if it means losing everything they have. I love this book. 4 out of 5 stars. Like, it's still like, I wish, because like it did take me a little while to read this as well. Like, even with like, oh my god, King of Greed is coming out soon. Like, even with that like impending timeline still coming in, it took me a while to read this book at the same time. So I was just like 4 out of 5, just because I feel like there was a little bit more that they could have added. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish there was less spice. But either ways, I love King of Pride and I love Kai. So speaking of the King series, I got King of Greed, and this is the special edition from Barnes & Noble. I bought this, or like I pre-ordered it for my birthday, so it was like a birthday gift to me. But this is basically about, okay, Dominic and Alessandra, and this was the fastest I have ever finished a book. Like the day, I think I got it on October the 25th, so like the day after. The moment I got it, up until like the night, I finished this book. Like, I could not stop reading it. Like, if you guys don't know, Dominic and Alessandra, they're basically like a second chance romance. Because if you guys don't know, Dominic and Alessandra, they're a married couple in the King of Sin series. And they met when Dominic was in college. Alessandra had stuck by him with 10 years. But when he forgets their 10th year anniversary, Alessandra decides that playing the role of a trophy wife is enough. She has stood by her husband while he built an empire. But now that they've touched the top, she's realized he's no longer the man she fell for. So basically, throughout this whole book is basically Alessandra trying to find who she is. Because even from college, she basically was like, this strong-winded woman, like, oh my god, like, I want to be like her, like, I want to, like, she's so strong. And then somewhere along the way in the 10 years, she like lost who she was because she was focusing on like what Dominic wanted. Oh, what should Dominic need? How can I focus this towards Dominic? Like every single thing that she was doing in her life, she was trying to figure out, oh, how can this benefit Dominic and not, how can this benefit me? Either ways, I know some people, for some reason, they didn't really like this book. I think it's because like people had too much of a high expectation. But I think by me reading King of Pride really late, I didn't really have like that high expectation yet for King of Greed. So for me, this is like a 4 out of 7, for like 4.7 out of 5. Like, I liked it more than King of Pride, that's for sure. But it was like still missing something to make it like that 5-star book. Granted, I'm basing my 5-star book after Divine Rivals. Like, I don't know why Divine Rivals is like my little measuring stick against all my books, but I would totally recommend this if you are like into second chance romance, and they're not enemies to lovers at all. So if you like that second chance romance trope, I would totally recommend this to you guys. And then the regular cover, like this, I think is like in a brown. I'm so glad I pre-ordered this and I got the special edition because look, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's like a little goldish sheen to it. And I love this book. It looks, compared to all my other books, like this is the cutest book that I have. No offense, books, no offense. So that was all the books I read for the month of October. Moving in for the month of November, I only read 2 books. So I read Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark, and I read Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison. I don't know why, after I finished reading this book in the beginning of November, I got into such a book rut. Like any type of book that I tried to pick up, I couldn't read. So like I had picked up what's it called, One Dark Window. I had to put it down because I was like, I know this book is gonna be really good, but you know, like when they say right book, wrong time, I felt that it was gonna be like the wrong time, so I put it back into my shelf. I was like, okay, I'll read you when I actually feel like reading fantasy. And so I had picked up Fourth Wing. I also had to put Fourth Wing back down because I was like, wrong time to read you. I was like, I don't know why. This book, after this, it gave me such a book run. But I do like this book. I would say this is like the first book series in the Brutal Birthright series. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 books in total. This is the first one. Brutal Prince follows after the Griffins and the Gallows. Basically, Ida, the youngest daughter of the Gallows family. Yeah, Ida, the youngest daughter of the Gallows family, marries the oldest son of the Griffin's family because she did something. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is, but yeah, she did something, and then she basically like sealed her deal into this marriage. And so honestly, this book I think took me maybe like 4 days to read. And honestly, I love the little drawings that this book has. Like, this is something I wish more books did. That's what I would say, that I would give this book maybe like a 4.5 out of 5. Cause like it was missing a little bit of something, but yeah, look at all the drawings it has. Like, I love books that are like this, where it's like they have drawings and everything, that I'm just like, I wish more books did that. And then the last book that I read in this month of November is The Mixed Signals, which honestly, this book took me a really long time to read. Like, I started reading it before Thanksgiving, so like that Monday, and we're already like, honestly, it's been like a week, but that's the longest it's ever taken me to read a book. For some reason, it's been more than a week. And I don't know why, this book didn't really catch my attention, so it's like a 3.5 out of 5, because like it's really good. Like, when I got past, I think, chapter 20, that's when it started picking up really quickly. Like, I finished it after I got to chapter 20, but before that, it was like a little bit, I think it's kind of like, because they're like a fake dating trope, but they're also kind of like friends to lovers series, kind of. And so I don't know why, but it was a little bit too slow burn for me, for my taste actually. But I would recommend this. Granted, I think I read it out of order. I think I was supposed to read Love Like Farms before this, because I noticed that they talk about like something about Love Like Farms, so I feel like I just got that book spoiled. So oopsie daisies, but I think this is the 3rd book in the series, and it's based in fall time. All I know is that she's a small-time baker, and he's like a substitute teacher during the summer. No, it's set during the summer. I remember, it's set in the summer. She's a small-town baker. He's like a substitute teacher, and he's been in love with her for years. Like, I'm so glad when they're like, I've been in love with you for such a long time. Like, I'm like, you could have told me sooner. Like, this, you could have saved me so much time and so much despair. But yeah, I would give it a 3.5 out of 5. Not 4-star material, but it's not, you know, horrible that I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, these are all the books that I read in the month of October/November. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but we've been preparing for the Christmas season. Like, me and my mom, we started decorating. Like, we're ready for Christmas. Christmas is my favorite time of the year, which is surprising because I'm a Scorpio. You would think Halloween is my favorite, but no, I love Christmas. I think it's the fact that I love gift giving. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys again in the next one. Peace, besties. I will see you later. Bye.
You'll find the beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her.